If you've heard of BSI Reset before, be very careful when tackling this job, because this one didn't even start after we followed the BSI Reset. So join me for a full step-by-step battery replacement, including info on the battery size and how we got it started in the end. Now, if we follow the recommended procedure, ensure all electrical loads are off, radio, lights, wipers, climate control, etc., and open the driver's window so you can see and operate things from the outside. Then make sure all the doors and tailgate are closed, remove the key from the ignition and move the key fob away from the car. Now you want to wait at least 3 minutes for the BSI or the body system's interface to go to sleep mode before disconnecting the battery. So in the meantime, I'm going to remove what I can, starting with the airbox by loosening this clamp here and then just pull it out of the way. Then this cover has about 4 clips, which were all broken on this one, to unclip and remove it. Once at least 3 minutes have passed, disconnect the clamp on the positive by pulling the lever upward. It's completely safe to disconnect the positive first, since you don't need a tool to do so, but have a look at this video link on the screen why we usually don't. Now we can disconnect this plug. You'll just need something to release the locking pin to push the plug downward. Then I'm also going to remove the nut on this one cable, so we're essentially trying to release anything holding this junction box down so it can move out of the way. This cover has a clip on each side, so by pulling it upwards and towards you should unclip it. Then there's a bracket on the side that holds down the battery with one bolt to remove. It's unfortunately out of view here, but you'll see what it looks like shortly. Now you can move the battery forward a bit to disconnect the negative terminal. If you find these videos helpful, please consider subscribing. It's free and as simple as tapping the button below the video. A lot of effort goes into making these videos, so help us get these numbers up. Clean the terminals with some fine sandpaper or this nifty little tool available on Amazon before installing the new battery. I'll share some info on this battery a bit later. For now, start by fitting the negative terminal first and then shift the battery in position. Then fit the hold down bracket and then the battery cover. The junction box has a locating pin on the left hand side that needs to go in first and then clipped in on the right. Now fit the plug and the cable that we disconnected earlier. Now the positive can go back on, and it's pretty much at this time you can start a timer, which I'll get to later. Make sure the terminal sits as low as possible on the battery post and clamp it in place. In the meantime, fit the airbox and any covers necessary to complete the installation. While that's happening, the battery used on this diesel model is a 70 amp hour enhanced flooded battery. It's recommended to replace the battery with the same amp hour rating and type, but I'll leave some links in the description for the battery size used in this video. So following the recommended procedure, you should wait at least 15 seconds after connecting the positive. Switch on the headlights through the driver's window. Switch on the ignition to check the system's functionality. Then switch the ignition off, open and close the door and test the central locking, then proceed to start the vehicle. In our case it didn't work, so I then proceeded to repeat the BSI reset 2 more times, but still no luck. What eventually worked was to connect the positive terminal and then let the car sit for about 5 minutes without doing anything to it, and then jumped in to start it. The engine light was on before the battery change, but if yours goes on after the battery change, a short drive might clear it. You also don't need a radio code after replacement.
Now that you've mastered installation, learn how to maximize the life out of your car battery by watching this video.